On top of a hillside boxcar, 4 men in sailors' clothes fix their eyes on the distant waterfront, where a crowd of hundreds clashes with uniformed cops. From this far, the sound resembles some loud, tenacious animal. After a while of silence, one of the men responds. You notice his bruised eye. Waiting on the police to deal with those strikers so we can get back to work. The man clenches his fists. Hey, mind your damn business. One of those bastards dragged me off the pier and... The police open fire into the crowd. As the shots ring out, the character of the sound changes altogether into terror and pain. Oh, fuck this. Bye. No point dying for a day's work. The man crawls to the edge of the boxcar and hops off. The sound of gunfire continues all across the port, but the dense picket line remains unbroken. Your knees make a nasty cracking sound with every step. Wandering this infernal city of steep hills takes its toll. Just over the crest of one hill, you find a stopped truck. Yang Chow, fresh fruit and vegetables. It's laden with colorful produce. You know anything about engine? Asks a man, obscured by the raised triangular hood of the truck. You come around next to him. One glance tells you that there's nothing obviously wrong with the engine, but there's smoke coming from somewhere deep behind and beneath it. The gearbox, maybe. Ah, never mind. He just slams down the hood of the truck. Wisps of smoke leaking out of it. He sits on the edge of the truck bed, and you get a good look at him. He's tall, well-built, fans himself with his Panama hat. Sent my brother over to get a real mechanic, but, well, I can barely keep this running as it is. Wish I still had the farm. He sighs theatrically, surprising himself with his own easy honesty. Sam Liang, landless, broke truck driver. Dad would have been proud. Well, it was my name on the deed. Had to be. But it was Father who bought it. He shrugs, eyes fixed on a horizon you can't see. You already know what happened, don't you? Same thing that happens to everyone's farm. Had to. It was either the farm or the truck. I could keep growing them, or I could keep selling them. A weathered man unties a fishing boat from its mooring. You heading out to fish? Can rent you a boat if you like. The lake's well stocked, but... He isn't smiling anymore. There's a monster in the lake. Locals say it's the biggest trout ever to live. But they're wrong. It's not a fish. It's something else. And I'm going to be the one to catch it. Someone passes a beer into your hand. Waves of chatter wash over you as you listen to the fishermen's stories. "Will's been chasing that fish for years now," man tells you. "I don't think he'll ever catch it. It's good fun to watch him try." Eventually, the convivial chatter is broken by a huge splash. Willie floats in the middle of the lake, his boat upturned, his cap bobbing gently several feet away. "Almost had him that time."
Rayar mi nombre en los huesos de la tierra. Clavaré mis tacones entre el suelo. Porque cuando la calaca regrese a mi valor, habrá mucho por allá, pues voy a cargar mi pala en mi espalda agotada. Voy a guardar mi ruego.
There's a rustling in this cactus patch. Down where the spiny paddles disappear into the sand, something is writhing around. At first, you think it's an antelope, perhaps, fallen among the thorns. Oh, fuck. That shrunken human skull whips around to stare at you. And those hands, God, like talons. They scrabble in the dirt. Before you know it, you're flat on your ass 20 feet away. The nude, withered corpse continues peeling himself out of his shallow grave.
"Help me,"
he shouts.
"Damn cactus grew on my coffin."
His fingers are so slight and delicate that you can scarcely believe your tugging doesn't rip them clear off. Soon he's free, but too fragile to stand.
"Fuck this,"
he rasps. He buries his head in his hands, his skull hitting his palms with a papery slap.
"I've been cursed 2 times. Once to live forever, but the second time to die. How'd you think the 2 magics fought it out, huh? I'm dead for sure, and certainly alive."
His tongue scrapes along his teeth like a dried thorn.
"Keep trying to kill myself? Tried getting shot."
He points to the ragged constellation of holes in the side of his head.
"Paid someone to chop my head off, but he chickened out. Maybe I can grind myself up and I'll just be some kind of thinking dust? Wouldn't mind that."
He's clearly delighted. He extends one leg like a dry stick of wood.
"Got a knife? No? Rub a stone on it or something."
You oblige, gripping his ankle in one hand and going to town on his toe tips with a sharp rock in the other. You continue for a few minutes in complete silence.
Please stop.
He finally blurts.
God, this isn't gonna work. Forget it. I'll just figure it out myself. Thanks.
He shrugs, an uneven jerk, ending with a crack as the tight skin along his shoulder splits.
Say, how far to the nearest combine harvester? Think I can get there if I roll up like a hoop snake and let the wind push me? Damn. Well, take a hint from me, which is, don't fuck with a witch or any kind of anybody who does witch stuff.
You beat it toward the horizon, glad that you didn't have to compare curses with him.
The riders still in tow. They were dressed in white from toe to tip, pale horses trod below. And last among their number, a chilling sight to see. The 13th horse lay empty, with a saddle meant for me.
You been in California long? It's been a few years for me, but they still call me Okie. I came west when our farm stopped growing anything but a crop of dust. But when we got here, there were so many others here before us. Maybe you've got less need behind you. I hope so, for your sake. I've had a hard day. Do you know any hopeful stories to cheer me up? Thank you for sharing that one. I feel a little better now. Joy. Oh, when we first heard they were looking for workers in California, that was joy. We thought we'd get here and have our own home right away. And no dirt floor either. Been so long since I last chuckled, I'm not sure my mouth can do it anymore. Can you tell me a story that'll make me laugh? You expect me to take that seriously? Life's more boring than that. Travel. When I left home, you couldn't walk anywhere without taking a big cloud of dust with you. All that just came right along on the journey. Anyway, know any good, hopeful stories to share? I could sure use one. Are you trying to make me laugh? I don't see how that one's supposed to be funny. Family's the people you have to share your food with. The ones you don't show to the door when supper is coming, no matter how little there is in the pot. I've had a hard day. Do you know any hopeful stories to cheer me up? That's a good one. I'll try to remember it when I'm out in the fields. The future? Now this is how I feel about the future these days. You know how sometimes you look out in the horizon and you see the dust clouds shaping up out there, this curved brown wall? You hope it'll blow itself out before it gets to you. But it probably won't. Anyway, I'm looking for a good laugh. Do you know any funny stories? Give me a moment just to catch my breath. Death. Yeah, I've seen death. Back home, we used to have a big cattle barn. Along comes a twister and picks that barn right up a half a mile in the air. What rains back down is all little pieces of wood with nails in them. After we'd been here a while, my husband wanted to go back to Oklahoma. But I knew there was nothing for us there anymore. I said I wasn't going back there to starve to death. So he took the girls and went without me. And now, I'm going my own way. Down the road this way, actually, to the next job, on and on and on. What about you? Where are you going? What are you leaving behind?
Voy a rayar mi nombre en los huesos de la tierra. Clavaré mis tacones entre el suelo.
In this plaza, jacaranda trees nestle among adobe structures. A man sits in the shade of the largest one, plucking notes on his guitar. Wind rustles their branches and stirs up sounds of shouting, truncheons on flesh. An old woman fanning herself looks up at the noise. The melody is mournful. In the song, a man bids a tearful farewell to his wife and son. as he's rounded up and forced onto a train to a country he has never seen. When the last notes fade, the only sound is the wind sighing through the jacarandas.
Y el mar, y cuando esté frío y falta, estos son los que me enterrarán, que me entierran. Pues voy a tirar estas piedras sobre las aguas de esta tierra y más tardar llegarán fuera de aquí, porque cuando caiga la noche llega por mí y me toma con él. Days ride from Tulsa en route to Santa Fe, and there beneath the blazing sun my horse began to sway. Was then I heard a thunderous sound come rising up behind, the hoofbeats of 12 horsemen, their course locked onto mine. White rider, ain't fixin' for to join your faded line. White rider, don't come to claim me for I have